Bao Island Storyteller, Journey to the West. Hey kids, welcome to Bao Island. On Bao Island, every story has a taste. Today's taste is ocean mist on dark volcanic rock, arriving from 1,000 miles away. This episode, we're on the east coast, Chenggong and Changbin. Today's story, the beautiful station.
Welcome back to the Bao Island bus. We're driving north on Route 11, the East Coast Highway, and I want to describe what you'd see if you were sitting in the passenger seat right now.
Tell them, Captain.
On the right side of the road, the Pacific Ocean. Not glimpses of it, the full ocean, right there, constant and enormous. The waves coming in from thousands of kilometers away and breaking on dark volcanic rock directly beside the road. On the left, mountains, dropping almost straight down. No flat land between them and the sea. Just cliff, road, ocean.
Looking ahead, and there it is, Sanxiantai. The 8-arch bridge curving across the water to that small island. The arches are different heights so the whole bridge undulates, like a dragon lying across the sea.
Sanxiantai means Three Immortals Platform. There's a legend that 3 immortals landed here in ancient times. The bridge was designed to reference the shape of a sea dragon.
I can see why they'd say that. The island feels slightly separate from the normal world. When you're on the bridge, the water is on both sides and you can hear it crashing on the rocks below.
The arch bridge was rebuilt in the 1990s after the original wooden walkway was damaged by typhoons. Concrete and steel, but the curving shape makes it feel lighter than it is.
Something that looks delicate but is actually very strong. Built to last through typhoons.
This whole coast is like that. Constantly battered, constantly rebuilt. And today's story is about what happens when you're at the edge of everything, and you realize too late that the thing you were following wasn't what it appeared.
Softly, I want to stay here for a while.
We will. But first, the story. There's something here, something you can only taste on Bao Island, where the Pacific crashes on dark volcanic rock and the spray reaches the road, and every wave arrives from 1,000 miles away just for this moment.
Excited, what is it? Tell me, tell me.
Take a guess.
Mouth full, let me take a bite first. Warmly, the daylilies. We picked up fresh daylily flowers at a market stall near Chenggong, golden needles. The dried version is used in cooking year-round, but these are fresh, just picked.
What do they taste like?
Fresh daylily petals, quickly stir-fried with ginger and a little rice wine, with some sliced mushrooms and tofu strips. The petals are tender and slightly sweet when fresh, like a floral vegetable. They wilt quickly in the pan and become silky. The dried version is earthier and chewier, but fresh, they're delicate.
The East Coast has pockets of daylily cultivation along the slopes, not as famous as Fuli's fields, but the flowers are the same golden orange.
Things that look like fire but are soft. Things that look like solid ground but are on a cliff edge over the ocean. Things that look like a princess but aren't.
Gently, let's talk about the Pipa demon. While all of this, the escape, Pigsy going to find Sun Wukong, everything was in motion, a third party was making moves of her own. This is the Pipa demon, a scorpion spirit who has been watching the Baoshan kingdom situation carefully. She saw the calf demon's position weakening. She saw an opportunity.
A scorpion demon? Where did she come from?
She lives in the mountains to the west of the kingdom. She's been powerful in this region for a long time, but cautious. She doesn't attack directly. She watches, she waits, she moves when the timing is right.
She sounds like the white bone demon.
She has some similarities, both use deception, both understand timing. But the Peepa demon is more patient. Longer range. She's playing a longer game.
What's the game?
She transformed herself into an exact likeness of Princess Baiwaxiu. Perfect features, perfect voice, same gestures, same way of speaking.
Oh no.
Then she waited for Tang Monk and his party to come back toward the palace. Tang Monk and the remaining party, just Pigsy had left to find Sun Wukong, were making their way cautiously toward the palace. They were planning to present the king's letters to the local celestial authority, to get heavenly assistance.
And then the fake princess appeared?
She appeared on the road, looking distressed, and ran toward Tang Monk. She said, "Monk, please, I've found a way to get into the king's private chambers. If you come with me now, we can free my father tonight. But we have to move immediately."
Slowly, and Tang Monk believed her.
She looked exactly like the princess. She sounded exactly like her. She knew the right details about the earlier escape. She said all the things the real princess would say.
The real princess wasn't there to contradict her.
She was hidden in a safe place the party had arranged. Sandy was acting as guard. But Tang Monk, who trusted the princess implicitly after everything she'd done, followed the fake one into the palace.
Very quietly, he walked right in.
Sandy waited outside with the white horse. Tang Monk and the fake princess went through the palace gates. The gates closed.
And then what happened?
Nothing, for a while. Sandy waited. The white horse stood still.
When did they realize something was wrong?
The white horse knew first.
Surprised, the horse?
The white horse is not an ordinary horse, he's the third prince of the Dragon King of the West Sea, transformed into a horse as a divine mission to carry Tang Monk. He's been with the party since before the journey began. He knows the shape of a crisis. And he senses, somehow, through whatever perception a celestial horse has, that the master has walked into danger.
What does he do?
He can't speak. He can't transform back into his dragon form to fight. He can't pass through the gate on his own. So he stands at the gate and begins to cry.
Very softly, the horse is crying.
Tears running down his face, standing at the gate, unable to do anything.
Moved, that is the saddest image in the whole story.
There's something about crying when you know something is wrong but you can't speak and can't act. That is a specific kind of helplessness.
Why does he remember Sun Wukong?
Because Sun Wukong was the one who always came back. Sun Wukong was the one who would already know what to do. The white horse has seen the party at its strongest, when all four of them were moving together. He remembers what that felt like.
Quietly, he's missing Sun Wukong the way you miss someone who made everything feel possible.
Sandy eventually went to investigate why Tang Monk hadn't returned. He pushed through the gate. Inside the palace, he found that the structure of the place had changed, the Peepa demon had taken control, and the demon's own guards were now throughout the halls.
Not the calf demon anymore?
The Peepa demon moved fast once Tang Monk was inside. She positioned herself as the new power. The calf demon is still there, but she's superseded him in the immediate situation.
2 demons in one palace. Sandy is walking into both of them.
Sandy is brave and his fighting skills are real. But fighting an entire palace of demons on your own, without backup, he got through several guards, then got overwhelmed. The Peepa demon's guards captured him with magical binding cords.
So now Tang Monk is inside the palace, captured. Sandy is captured. Pigsy is somewhere in the sky trying to find Flower Fruit Mountain. And the white horse is crying outside the gate.
That is exactly the state of things.
Slowly, everything has collapsed.
The moment the team is fully separated, this is what happens. We've been walking across the arch bridge for a while. The island is just ahead.
Breathlessly, the waves are enormous today. They're crashing on the rocks below the bridge and sending spray all the way up. You can feel the mist on your face. And then the wave pulls back and it's calm for a moment before the next one.
The whole east coast is geologically young. These formations are constantly being made and remade by wave action, tectonic movement, typhoons. The coastline you see today is not the coastline of 100 years ago.
Things passing through without stopping. Waves hitting the rock and pulling away.
You can see each wave building from far out at sea, a line on the horizon, getting slowly bigger. Then the crash. Then nothing.
That's kind of what happened to Sun Wukong in this arc. He was there, the party was moving, everything was working, then he was gone. And everything slowed down and then stopped.
And now he's coming back from Flower Fruit Mountain. Somewhere. A dot getting bigger.
Can we talk about what the Peepa demon actually wants? Like, why all of this?
She wants Tang Monk's flesh. That's the immediate desire, the one all the monsters in this part of the journey share. But the Peepa demon is more sophisticated. She also wants the kingdom. She's been maneuvering to take over the Baoshan kingdom for a long time. Tang Monk's capture is both a personal ambition and a strategic move.
She's doing two things at once.
That's why she's dangerous in a different way from the calf demon, who is powerful but straightforward. He has one goal. She has a layered plan.
How did she know to disguise herself as the princess specifically?
She was watching. She saw the escape. She saw what the real princess looked like, how she moved, what she said. She studied it. And then she used it.
She turned the princess's greatest act of courage, 13 years of waiting, the moment she rescued Tang Monk, into a weapon against him.
Pause, that's a devastating observation. The demon took the exact shape of someone's trust and exploited it.
Quietly, that is the most vicious kind of deceit. Not just lying. Stealing the form of something good.
And Tang Monk had no way to know. He had no fire eyes. He had only what he'd experienced before, a trustworthy person, and applied it to what he was seeing.
His trust was used against him. Again.
The things that are most good about a person, their trust, their faith, their willingness to believe in others, these are also the things that can be exploited. That's not a reason to stop trusting. But it's worth understanding.
We've stopped at a small barbecue spot by the road near Changbin. This stretch of coast is Amos indigenous territory.
Excitedly, they're grilling over an open fire, wild boar sausage with millet, grilled flying fish, salt-roasted sweet potato, and sticky millet balls wrapped in banana leaves. This is Amos cuisine, one of the 16 recognized indigenous groups of Taiwan, and the largest along the east coast.
What does it taste like?
The sausage has this earthy, slightly smoky depth from the millet mixed into the pork. The wild boar is lean and strong, very different from farmed pork, with a clean, almost wild flavor. And the millet ball, sticky and dense, nutty and grounding alongside the bold meat flavors. The flying fish is firm and smoky from the wood fire.
The Amos have been along this coast for thousands of years. Their food, their fishing ceremonies, their harvest festivals, they're part of the landscape here in the way that can only come from that depth of time.
13 years is nothing compared to that. Thousands of years of knowing a place.
Knowing where the currents bring the fish. Knowing which month the flying fish arrive. Knowing which cove gives shelter from a typhoon.
Quietly, that is a different kind of waiting. The long slow knowing of a place.
I want to come back to the white horse, because I think this moment in the text is more significant than it might seem.
Why?
In Journey to the West, most characters either have the ability to fight Sun Wukong, Pigsy, Sandy, various demons, or they have a spiritual mission, Tang Monk, the Bodhisattvas. The white horse exists in neither category. He carries things. He moves forward. He doesn't have the power to change the situation directly.
Like someone who can see that something is wrong, but can't do anything about it.
But here is what the text does. It says the white horse stood at the gate and wept, and in his tears was the image of Sun Wukong. He was remembering. Remembering what the journey felt like when all four were moving together.
Why does a horse's memory matter?
Because it's presented as its own kind of knowing. He can't speak the analysis. He can't deliver a speech about the importance of Sun Wukong. But his tears carry the same truth that every other analysis in the chapter points to: the party is broken without Sun Wukong.
The body knows what the mind can't always say.
There are times when the most honest response to a situation isn't words. It's just standing at a gate and crying.
Quietly, the horse is the most honest character in this whole episode.
He might be the most honest character in the entire book. He never lies. He never has an agenda. He just carries what he's given and remembers what mattered. This whole arc, chapters 27 through 30, is essentially one long examination of what happens when Sun Wukong is removed from the party.
It's not good.
The immediate consequences: Tang Monk gets captured twice. Sandy gets captured once. Pigsy has to make a humiliating journey to ask for help. The white horse stands at a gate crying. A demon takes over an entire kingdom.
And Sun Wukong is at home repairing his mountain.
He didn't choose any of this. He was sent away. He went home. He did what he could with the situation he had. And still, look at what happens in his absence.
Is it fair to say the lesson is you need Sun Wukong?
I don't think that's the whole lesson. I think the lesson is more precise. The party needs all four of its members to function. Tang Monk provides the mission and the moral compass. Sandy provides steadiness. Pigsy provides energy and appetite. His greed is annoying but also makes him move fast. And Sun Wukong provides the ability to actually solve problems.
Take anyone out and it falls apart?
Take the problem solver out when there are problems to solve, and yes, it falls apart very specifically.
Pigsy is the reason Sun Wukong left. So in a way Pigsy broke the team.
And Pigsy is the one who has to fix it.
There's something just in that.
We're driving further north along the coast. The road is carved directly into the cliff face here, and the Pacific is right below.
The rock formations along this stretch are incredible, pillars and arches carved by the waves, dark volcanic stone against the blue water. Each headland has a different shape.
Changbin means long shore. The name describes this stretch of coast accurately. The Amos names for these places are much older, predating the Chinese settlement by centuries.
The East Coast place names are often layered, Japanese pronunciation of Amos names, written in Chinese characters that approximate the sound. Sometimes 3 languages in one name.
Things carrying other things inside them. Language carrying history, carrying people, carrying time.
Like a horse carrying sutras, carrying a monk, carrying a mission, carrying the memory of who was missing.
Softly, everything connects.
Here is where the chapter ends, and what I want to leave us with: Pigsy is in the air, heading toward Flower Fruit Mountain. He's got a long flight. He's grumbling.
As is his nature.
But he's going. And we know from what comes after, Sun Wukong will listen. He'll get the information. He'll say let's go. Because he always does.
The dot on the horizon getting bigger.
The party is broken. But not permanently. This is the lowest point of this arc. From here, things move.
How does Sun Wukong defeat the Peepa demon? She sounds really dangerous.
She has a weapon Sun Wukong has never encountered before. Something that stops him in a completely different way than anything else in the story so far. It will take more than just his fire eyes and his staff.
What kind of weapon?
A sound weapon. A long, sustained note that paralyzes anyone who hears it. It works on something deeper than the body. Next time.
Fascinated, a sound weapon? That is so much more interesting than a sword.
The best obstacles in this story are never the ones you fight with a staff.
Time to wrap up. The last light is leaving the Changbin cliffs and the ocean below Sanxiantai has gone dark blue.
Today we drove the East Coast Highway, Chenggong and Changbin, the wild Pacific shoreline where the mountains drop straight into the sea. We crossed the dragon-shaped arch bridge at Sanxiantai. We ate fresh daylily stir-fry, silky and sweet. We ate Amos barbecue over an open fire, earthy sausage and lean wild boar. And we followed the story to its lowest point: the Peepa demon wearing the princess's face, Tang monk walking into the trap, Sandy captured, the white horse crying at the gate because he remembers Sun Wukong, everything broken apart.
The white horse knows. He can't speak it. He just cries.
And somewhere in the sky, heading toward Flower Fruit Mountain, is Pigsy. Going to ask for the only help that will work.
What's next?
Next time we head south to Taimali, the most beautiful train station in Taiwan, a small unstaffed platform perched on a clifftop facing the sea. We'll have daylily stir-fry from the hillside fields and indigenous barbecue. And the story, Sun Wukong returns. But the Peepa demon has a sound weapon that even he can't fight directly. He needs help from an unlikely ally, a rooster.
Delighted, a rooster?
Softly, even when you cannot speak, your tears carry the truth. On Bow Island, stories grow up with you.